Now I'm going to tell you one thing that has leaked. Quite interesting. It is directly related to Ukraine. This means that information about what Trump spoke about with Zelenskyy on the phone appeared. So, the most interesting thing is that Trump said two things. First, he told Zelenskyy that all those who say, I quote, that I will allegedly sacrifice the territory of Ukraine, do not believe it. This is a fake. This is the first thing. And secondly, and no less important, he said that in matters of a deal with Russia, we, he stressed, are obliged to pay tribute to the Ukrainians who gave their lives for the struggle for their independence during these 2.5 years. This is what the deal will be based on. These were Trump's words. This suggests that I am going back to the very famous proposal, Mike Pompeo's plan, which was published in the Wall Street Journal. An amazing plan. It is realistic, although many people find it fantastic, illusory. You know, no, this is not so. It is all real. It is all doable. Therefore, given that Mike Pompeo is an advisor to Trump, God grant that Trump wins and Mike Pompeo, I think, will roll up his sleeves and deal with these issues.
Let's wait, Boris, I really hope so. And the last question. On the 10th of next month, there will be a debate between Kamala Harris and Trump. Don't you think, Boris, that Trump is a bit of a loser here, because the Americans and the world have already seen him in the debates, and Kamala Harris has not yet? Everyone will be waiting for what she will say, and everyone knows what Biden will say, because, well, we see, yes, plus or minus all the interviews, all his debates know what to expect from him, but what to expect from Kamala Harris, no one knows, so, let's say, everything is in the hands of the Democrats now.
No, I wouldn't say so. The Republicans have a huge advantage. Firstly, Trump himself, personally, as a person, has a huge track record. He did a lot of outstanding things in his first cadence. He did a lot, both at home and abroad. I'll take a minute to do that. Inside the country, he used the Wheatstone pipeline. This is an oil pipeline from Canada to Texas, which made it possible to provide our domestic market with its own oil, gas too. Why? Because he also used the cracking method of oil and gas production, which was not the case before him. Everything was frozen. And this went against the Democrats' program aimed at the environment, as they say. Sacrificing to find the profitability of our industry and, of course, America's dependence on the energy carriers of foreign countries, even Russia, and I draw your attention. Because until then, America even bought oil from Russia. So, with the advent of Trump at that time, all this was stopped, and Trump managed, thanks to his active work abroad, in the direction of reducing the cost of a barrel of oil, contacting, for example, the Saudi king. If you remember, he came there. It was he who achieved that the price per barrel was reduced from $120 to $40. This was Trump's greatest achievement, which resulted from America's transformation from an importer to an exporter of energy. This was Trump's greatest achievement. As for the tax initiative, he started it. He was not allowed to finish it. They did not give it, because the Congress was Democratic. Pelosi led all this there. And yet, he announced the plan and started. He started, of course, with the richest, because he was afraid that the rich were taking their capital abroad. He wanted to stop them by lowering taxes for them. And then he planned it for the middle class. Then Trump, of course, he closed the borders, he began to close the borders, he began to build a fence. About 35 to 40% of the fence has already been built. He did not have enough money, Congress did not give it. That was the whole problem. And, nevertheless, there were fewer illegal immigrants under him than under the previous Obama, and I am not talking about the current Biden. And it's inside. And what can we say about external problems? Look, he began to fight Putin by, closing this petrodollar valve. He said that petrodollars are Putin's oxygen. To do this, he wanted to lower the price per barrel, which he did, as I said, by lowering it from $120 to $40. This is the first thing. Secondly, he began to fight with Nord Stream 2. It was he. He even boycotted Merkel. The same crime that will still be revealed by experts and given for discussion by the world community, which has caused a lot of harm to the world community, and not only by its friendship with Putin, but also by many others. So, I'm coming back. Then he began to pursue a policy against Putin, by clamping him down, receiving, making money, by selling Russian energy. That's the first thing. Secondly, Trump is familiar with the Avram Accords program, which practically destroyed the Arab War. This program is still working. It was Trump's initiative. I'm not talking about how much good he did for Israel. He moved the capital from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, recognized the Golans as part of Israel, and he did many, many other useful things for Israel. And, of course, Ukraine. I will tell you that it was under him that Ukraine began to receive javelins. It was in his presence that he said that the occupation of Ukraine was unacceptable. Even now, these days, when he is fighting for every vote, and he lacks at least 10 to 15 million votes, I will remind you, today his support is at the level of 60 to 62 million votes, and he lost in 2020 to Biden, gaining 75 million votes, and Biden then gained 82 million votes. В 2020 году Байдену, набрав 75 миллионов голосов, а Байден тогда набрал 82 миллиона голосов. Therefore, today Trump, like air, needs every vote. I will return to the debate. I will tell you, if Trump does not operate with facts, arguments, even saying that he will develop those initiatives that he began in his first term and the development of which was not given by the Democratic Congress, he will continue to do this. He will say specifically what he is going to do. He will beat Harris. Он будет продолжать это делать, он будет конкретно говорить, чем он собирается заниматься, он забьет Харрис. Moreover, Harris has no experience in conveying the necessary information to audiences. Until now, this has not happened. I am sure that the absence of a teleprompter, it will help. It will be in Trump's favor, because Harris does not have a huge store of knowledge. She has not become famous for anything in these 2.5 years as vice president. Nothing. Not one of her specific proposals. Not a single one of her initiatives. So Trump will have to smear it with facts, arguments, and not a repetition of what he did once, and how good he is, and that one loves him or this one loves. Фактами, аргументами, а не повторением того, что он делал когда-то, и он это самое, и какой он хороший, и что его тот любит, этот любит. And not to focus on her personal qualities. To talk to the point, how he can improve the life of America. That's when he will win.